essentially developed 6 principles that we teach our kids. And I'm going to talk about 5 of them because I think they perfectly blend the season of peacemaking and nonviolence. The first principle we teach is that violence is real and hurts everyone. Kids have a distorted view of violence, right? They go to a 007 or a Bruce Willis movie, people are dropping all over the place, or video games or television, and then they're out on a boat or a picnic sipping on a cocktail. We tell kids that's the movies, that's not reality. Because in every act of violence, there are family members, both of the perpetrator and the victims, that suffer and suffer and suffer and suffer for a very long time. They see the pain on my face, they see the pain on the grandfather's face. Because we work together. We've been working together 15 years, and one of our programs are introduced. This man's grandson killed this man's son, and here they are together. And we tell them, this is real. And sometimes you don't really get how painful violence is till it happens to you. And I know some of the testimony we heard this evening, they really get how painful violence is. At least I didn't get it. I lived in a different world. But now I do get it. Now I really, really, really get it. And because I get how painful violence is, I would never be violent to another human being. Can we do that for the next 64 days? Thoughts can be violent. Thoughts can be violent. We teach that we can all make good and non-violent choices. You can't destroy violence with violence. You can't destroy hate with hate, but you can with love. This is an MLK quote. An eye for an eye and soon the whole world is blind is a famous Gandhi quote. You can't destroy dark with dark. You can walk into a dark room, turn the light on, and it's no longer dark. We teach that violence is never, never, never the appropriate response, irrespective of the circumstances. It always makes things worse, not better. You'd think we'd get that after 2,000 years. And yet, we see so much increase of violence on a global level. You know, I realized that change had to begin with me. And I realized that, you could take the position, he killed my one and only son, hanging from the highest pole. How does that improve society? If you forgive him and invite him to join you, and then he can help you stop other kids from not making the same mistake, do you not improve society? No. And that's exactly what's going to happen. I met the grandfather 9 months after I started the foundation, and I met him through the district attorney who handled the case. And I told him, please, I'm not here screaming, hanging from the highest pole. I'm not here in resentment, in anger, in revenge. No. Although I come to you in the spirit of compassion and forgiveness, because what I really see here is we both lost a son. My son died, and your son you lost to the adult prison system. He was the first 14-year-old in our state to be tried as an adult. And you know about our prison system. A young, charismatic young man in an adult prison, it's a dangerous place. And I told players, I said, there's nothing I can do to bring Tariq back from the dead. There's nothing really you can do to get Tony out of prison. And I've started this foundation with a lofty mission of stopping kids from killing kids. I can't do it by myself. Will you help me? And he was very quick to take my hand of forgiveness. And we had been together for 15 years. With the grace of God, the work of the foundation has done really well. I started with $8,000 in my study. Today we have a budget of about $2 million and about 50-some employees. And we are very active in schools. And over these 15 years, we've stopped many, many kids from joining gangs, guns, and violence, or choosing a life of gang, guns, and violence. We're teaching. Thank you. We've created a safe school model. We're very focused on middle schools, and we have developed 6 programs, and when we throw all of these programs on unsafe, dangerous schools, we are able to make them safer and not as dangerous. And we've done this many times. We have a table back there. Hopefully you'll stop by there. We have Katie here from the foundation and one of our board members, Diana. And please come and talk to us about it. So we teach. We teach that we can all offer forgiveness rather than revenge. Because revenge is the precursor of every new act of violence. I made a choice 16 years to forgive instead of seeking revenge. I can tell you, for me, it was the right choice. Probably most people would have gone the other way. Why? Because through forgiveness, I am at peace. My family is at peace. And I tell this story about I'm divorced, but my mother-in-law was in town visiting my daughter 6 years ago. And she calls me and says, Grandma is in town and she's cooked your favorite meal. And my response to that, sweetheart, you're kidding me. Ex-mothers-in-law don't do that. She said, Dad, I'm not kidding you. Well, she was a very special lady. She's passed on, so may God rest her soul in eternal peace. But over dinner, she told me, Azim, I wanted to cook your favorite meal because you forgave Tariq's killer. We've all been able to forgive. So my family is at peace. But what's more miraculous is Tony is at peace, his grandfather is at peace, Tony's mom is at peace. Forgiveness is something you do for yourself. And we teach that and it's not just about finding forgiveness in your heart, you gotta practice it. When we go to schools, I tell the kids, every morning after I get up and say my prayers and do my meditation, I forgive Tony. I practice my forgiveness muscle on a daily basis and been doing that for 16 years. That's why it is so strong. I invite you all, at least for the next 64 days, to practice your forgiveness muscle. Why? Because it will create peace within you. It will create peace within the families. It will create peace within our communities. And I truly believe if there are enough people that are forgiving, we could create peace in the whole wide world. We teach that everyone, including you, deserves to be respected and treated well. The US is a kaleidoscope or a melting pot. We have, 138 languages we speak in Southern California. And in schools, you see the same thing. You see, Somalian and Sudanese and Vietnamese and Chinese and, all kinds of cultures that come together. And kids will tease because people speak differently, dress differently. But we promote the fact that we are all one human race. That we all deserve to be treated with respect, and we all have to respect each other's traditions, languages, and religions. I don't get this obsession about racism in our country. I wasn't born in Africa where I have black friends and brown friends and white friends, and I don't even see skin, I see souls. Have you ever looked at these forms on races? You know what the choices are? The first